So welcome everybody. My name is Rebecca Sproule, and as I was noted, I'm the Chief Government Geologist at Mineral Resources Tasmania. So today I'm going to give an overview of Tasmania's mining value chain from pre-competitive data to exploration to mining and processing. I will then give an overview of our critical mineral belts and projects of interest, and finally discuss some of the government support in this area. There we go, great. So, where's Tasmania? Hopefully everyone here in the audience knows where it is, but we are the smallest state down there on the bottom southeast corner, and we're 0.9% of the actual landmass. Due to our complex geology from the mid-Proterozoic to the Quaternary, we're richly mineralised with operating mines, known deposits at various stages of development, and a pipeline of new opportunities. In particular, Tasmania has the highest potential of critical mineral deposits in Australia. Next month, we're going to release our Critical Minerals Prospectus, and we also have a $3 million Critical Minerals Research Initiative, which is focused on geological and metallurgical research to help unlock value. And it's important to point out for someone, to the audience here, that our economy is underpinned by mining and processing, with it actually representing more than 65% of Tasmania's export revenue. So just to give us a little bit more of an outline as Tasmania as a jurisdiction, so as I've mentioned, we have numerous advantages. Firstly, we have a supportive government with policies designed to minimise sovereign risk and with established approval processes. Next, and extremely importantly, and it's a differentiator for many other locations, our state is net zero in emissions due to a combination of energy production by hydroelectricity and wind farms, and also our large amount of forests. We have robust infrastructure to support mining, and we have recent and ongoing upgrades to rail and port facilities. We importantly have high quality pre-competitive data sets to assist explorers and to speed things up. And most importantly, we have a high quality workforce with a long history of mining. So as mentioned before, Tasmania has a complex geology which has resulted in numerous prospective belts with associated producing mines and a range of commodities. So here we have the image of Tasmania, and we're showing some of the different belts down through here. Now, the most important one in terms of the value is this back beforehand. Oh, I give up on the laser pointer. Is the red belt shown here, which is the Mount Reid volcanic belt. But that includes the Rosebery Mine, the Mount Lyell deposit, and the Henty Gold Mine. And then we have this blue granite-related belt, and that includes our tin and tungsten deposits, including the Renison Tin Mine and the Dolphin Tungsten Mine up there in King Island, which is the only operating tungsten mine currently in Australia. Then we have, oh my gosh, we've gone the wrong direction. I apologise, everybody. There we go. Then we have the green belt down through here. That includes our ultramafics, which hosts the Avebury deposit, nickel deposit there. Then we have the orange belt, which includes the Savage River magnetite mine. And I will also bring attention here to the brown area in the centre, which is where we have kaolinite-hosted ionic clay rare earth deposits. These are particularly enriched in terbium and dysprosium, and as these deposits are associated with kaolinite, they have extremely favourable metallurgy, where they process at quite relatively neutral pHs. We also have numerous processing facilities too in the state. We have NiStar down in Hobart producing zinc. We have Bell Bay up the north producing aluminium, and then we have Liberty Bell Bay producing manganese. But in addition to our operating mines, we have a pipeline of new projects, and some of these I'm going to discuss next in more detail. In the target testing phase, we have Copper Corp's Copper and Gold, Skyline and Razorback projects in the West Coast. We have Lode Resources Montezuma and Timony and Silver project, which has some impressive recent results. Then we have Flynn Gold's Fire Tower, Copper, Cobalt, Tungsten and Copper project, and also we have their Golden Ridge project too. With defined resources and undergoing PF studies, we have the Stellar Resources Heemskirk tin deposit and Mazel Resources Moena fullerite deposit. And we also have ABX's deep lead rare earth ionic clay project I mentioned earlier, which is strongly enriched in terbium and dysprosium. With completed PFSs, we have the Mount Lyell copper and gold project, which is owned by Sibanye-Stillwater. And then we also have Elementos's Cleveland tin deposit. So next I'm actually going to dive down into some of the projects that we have that are of interest in the critical mineral space. And our first cab off the rank through here is going to be the Montezuma antimony silver project through here. This project it's a relatively old project that has been rediscovered, as is happening in many cases with critical minerals. And we can see that we have some very impressive grades that are actually from some of the historical mining through there. We can see that we have stockpiled bulk mineralisation at 9% antimony and 770 grams per tonne silver. But there's an ongoing drill project through here, which is currently happening, and I myself went and visited this project about 2 months ago. Their initial maiden resource estimate, their initial mineral resource estimate will be coming out by the end of this year. And initial test work so far is indicating very highly favourable metallurgy. Then next we have the deep lead projects. And as I mentioned, this is one of these ionic clay projects. It's located in central Tasmania and actually is based over Jurassic dolerite, which has become weathered and lateritised. There's been a large resource defined so far, which is open in multiple directions. And as I mentioned earlier, the dysprosium and terbium contents of the deposits are some of the highest in the world. This test work has shown very good liberation with near 70% in relatively near neutral solutions. This is because it's kaolinite hosted. It's very, very favourable. And this means that it will result in more environmentally friendly processing and lower operating costs and less impurities. Then we have the Fire Tower project. This is located within the central part of Tasmania, and it's a project that was actually found by sampling of historic drill core at Mineral Resources Tasmania's large core farm. And it's something that we're going to work on a lot more in the future. So prior work had identified that there was gold here, but recent analysis has actually found out that it has highly anomalous tungsten as well. There's a new geological interpretation that's been defined down through here, and you can see what the best intersection so far is, with 17 metres at 5.37 grams per tonne gold and 5.5 metres of 3.3 grams per tonne gold and the 0.53 grams tungsten oxide. So this is one to watch and a very interesting association. As a geologist, I'm looking forward to getting my teeth and understanding this deposit more. And then next we have the Moena Riglite skarn. This is a fluorite project. Again, this is another historic project, but it's actually been resurrected because of the importance and need of these new critical minerals that we have coming online. So there's been historic drilling that's been used to define a resource here with 59.2 million tonnes at 6% fluorite, with also additional tungsten and tin. And it's cited as being one of Australia's larger fluorine resources. Drilling is currently ongoing to actually improve the categories from inferred down to indicated, and the PF studies are currently ongoing. And then, even though it's not a critical mineral, but I'm going to bring it up because I'm taking the opportunity, and I want to point out the Stellar Resources Heemskirk project that's located also on the west coast of Tasmania. So this is a tin project, and it has a current resource of 7.5 million tonnes at 1.04% tin. And the resource is open at depth, and new results are indicating that the mineralisation is continuing at depth. So far, metallurgy is favourable, and the PFS studies are actually ongoing. And so far, their offtake is unencumbered. So it's a very important project and one to note. So I'll just quickly go through and discuss some of the government support that's actually happening right now. First of all, we have the Office of the Coordinator General. And what the Office of the Coordinator General does is they very much act as the first point of contact for any business looking to establish itself, to expand or relocate to Tasmania. It's kind of a one-stop shop. They'll help navigate the government for you, they'll point out different groups, and they can actually unlock a number of opportunities. Then I'd also like to point out that we just announced last week, our minister announced that we're going to be doing a landmark study for a location for a common use and processing facility currently focusing on tin and tungsten. This is right now at the point it's going to be a study, and that is to identify favourable areas and the types of processing that can coexist. And finally, I'll just talk a little bit more about what we're doing ourselves at Mineral Resources Tasmania and some of the support and initiatives that we have ongoing. As I mentioned before, we have pre-competitive data sets. We're going to continue to deliver these to encourage and de-risk exploration. They include geology maps. We have our geology teams constantly mapping, and they're getting ready to go out this summer. We have drilling and geochemical data sets. We have mineral occurrences, geophysical surveys, and also 3D modelling. We also, right now, we're getting ready for early next year to have another airborne EMs survey to cover the entire state. This is going to add to our further data that we have. I would also like to point out too that we're going to be putting many more products out to try and help our users use our data sets more efficiently for machine learning. We ourselves now in our team, we have a new data scientist, and we're actually using that to leverage our data to produce products that are more useful for explorers. We have as our ongoing exploration drilling grant initiatives, which has given so far $5 million since 2018. And then right now, we're working on a critical minerals initiative, which is $3 million over 3 years dedicated to research and studies. And so, as I mentioned, we're doing more prospectivity models. We're actually using those prospectivity models then to turn around and actually identify potential areas of interest within our historic mineral core library. And what we're going to do is pick out areas of interest and go and sample them. We're going to go and act like we're explorers to get some people looking into some new areas. We're going to also work toward doing deposit atlases. And that's also going to help our explorers to understand the footprints of what our deposits look like. We're going to increase our 3D models. We've increased our capacity in that space. And as I mentioned, we've got that historic core sampling going on. And we're also going to do some specific critical mineral deposit research to help companies unlock value in their projects. And just to mention here, we'll be releasing in Q4 this year our Tasmanian Critical Minerals Prospectus. That's going to outline our critical minerals inventory, our mining landscape, our regulatory framework, and we're also going to have a live register of critical and strategic mineral opportunities for other investors to access, and they can use that as a repository. So, if you've got any further questions, please reach out to me and my team through here. We're currently at booth G15, and we would welcome to have everyone come by and visit us. Thanks very much.